Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Outs here. It is Wednesday, and the Raptors 905 are playing the Grand Rapids Gold in 90 minutes. So I'm going to try and start early, a little bit early. And, should be about an hour stream. It's not a normal kind of stream today. It's the first ever Wild Card Wednesday. That's right. Wednesday's been good to the Raptors this year. Lots of wins on the day of Wednesday. And today we're going to debut a new segment, the Wild Card Wednesday. But also today is kind of Wild Card news item day. And the big news yesterday was Adrian Griffin fired by the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday. Crazy news. Only 3 months into the job. This guy worked as an assistant coach in the NBA for over a decade to work to get this chance, and he got a dream chance. It didn't do anything wrong. I mean, in some ways, he's like being very successful. 30-13 record, second in the East, and he's fired 3 months in. Yeah, it's because he does not get along with Giannis. There were times earlier this season when Adrian Griffin tried to take Giannis Antetokounmpo out of the game, and Giannis ixnayed that. He overrode it. He vetoed it. He said, "No, I'm going to go back in the game." And Coach Griffin's hands were tied. He's just like, "Okay. I mean, I guess you're the boss." And yeah. So this is the thing. I remember Griffin going to Greece and hanging out with Antetokounmpo in the offseason after he got hired, trying really hard to ensconce himself as a friend and a trusted person in his life. But it didn't take. In some ways, I know Adrian's personality. He is a really smart guy. He really does know his basketball. He really does know certain stuff. But in some ways, I don't know. It sucks. The Nick Nurse coaching tree has not been very successful. Let's just put it that way. All right, let's start first. I have a ref report for you guys. First thing, that is right. 905 are playing at Paramount Fine Food Center in Mississauga this morning at 11 a.m. I was thinking about doing a watch along, but I'd rather just watch the game. I don't know. I'm going to figure out these watch alongs better in the future, like maybe to do the early game watch alongs on the stream. But today it just caught me by surprise, and I don't feel like being on from like 11 to 1. There's things I should do in the middle of the day. So I'm going to just avoid doing it, but we'll still give you the ref report. Here's the refs for today's game against the Grand Rapids Gold. That's the Denver Nuggets G League team. We don't see them all the time. They're going to be here for a two-shot today and another game later this week. John Conley is the head ref. We just had John Conley in the main Raptors team. I believe he ref the game that we just played. I'm trying to remember. Was he reffing that game against Memphis on Monday? I think he did. He just like stuck around and hung out, and he's going to head ref the 905 today. He's in his fourth season out of Orlando, Florida. His favorite musician's Michael Jackson. His favorite book is Be the Pack Leader. He's the one who likes Dumb and Dumber, remember? He must like to visit Australia, and his hidden talent is dog training. That's right. He was the one who ref with his mom. So John Conley is the head ref for the game with the 905 today. The second ref is Teresa Stuck. Number 68 is the referee. And Sarah Williams is the umpire, number 20. Yeah, I can't really tell you if they're good for the 905 or not. I think that, anything on the court these days, as long as the 905 are healthy, they're okay. But if they're not, I'll be very interested to see the status of Marquise Noel today, to see if whether he's going to be able to play today. Of course, we might see Grady Dick playing this morning at 11. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. I'd love to see some more Kyra Lewis Jr. today against the Gold. That would be fun. I mean, there's some fun stuff to watch with 905. Hopefully, they can win some more because in some ways they can still be very competitive. Even though they've lost a lot this season, they're still in pretty good shape in the regular season with their record. So if they get some more wins during this homestand they're on right now, which is the goal of Eric Curry, this is what he said in his press conference after the game the other day when they won against the Blue Coats, is that they're trying to get more even in their win-loss categories and get actually on the winning side of things. And they're going to try and do that while they're on this homestand. So you go, Eric Curry. You got a tough team from the west side of the G League. The Gold coming in. They're actually very much one of the top teams on the other side in the other conference. So just so y'all know. All right, let me check in with the comments. We're going to do a mishmash of everything. There's so much to talk about. Scotty named to the Olympic select team. Kyle Lowry traded. Tristan Thompson suspended. 25 games for illegal substance. Adrian Griffin fired. Lots and lots of stuff to talk about from around the NBA. Dennis Schroeder appearing on the Raptors show yesterday and saying some things yesterday, interesting things. Lots and lots and lots to talk about today, even though no game or nothing going on. Yeah, Dana's here. Canadian Dana, good morning, everyone. That was crazy. Just sprung on us like that. No warning. Poor Adrian Griffin. That organization has little to no class. Oh, well, it's not our team. Let's go. Yeah, it's not even the organization. It's Giannis. It's Giannis. There's nobody else that made this decision other than Antetokounmpo. There's no other way to slice it. I knew that they didn't really totally see eye to eye. I knew that in some ways the most important thing in a job like that is to have the confidence and the approval of the number one franchise superstar like Giannis Antetokounmpo. And he never got that. He never got that this whole time in starting this season. Even though they were winning, even though they were doing well in times, I know that Giannis was comparing him to Coach Bud. And he probably, you got to understand, Antetokounmpo loved Coach Bud. He really, really did. So whoever's coming in there is going to be doomed. It's going to be doomed because it's like I'm comparing you to the coach that I won a championship with. I'm comparing you to the guy who I've only known really in my whole career. And now I got to look at you and I'm just like, you're not even close to what he was. And I'm sorry. I don't like you. And you're kind of annoying me. And then at some point, it's just like, owners, I'm really glad I re-signed with you guys and got an extension. But remember, part of what we said is if I don't like the coach, you'll fire him. Yeah, we did say that to get you to re-sign your extension last summer. Yeah, you really want us to fire him? Do you really want to do that, Giannis? I mean, yeah, I do. I really do. I think we're wasting our time with him. He's horrible. I mean, we kind of want to give him a whole year chance. It's not really smart to fire your coach in the middle of the year. I don't care. I'm Giannis. You better do what I want. All right, we'll do it. And now they're talking about getting Doc Rivers. That's messed up. It's so stupid. It's not like Doc Rivers is going to do any better than Adrian Griffin. I'm going to tell you that right now, Giannis. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yeah. I don't know. Not very classy. No, not indeed. Not the deal that Adrian Griffin deserves. No, I don't believe that. In some ways, this guy worked so hard in the trenches and he got the dream job. And wow, even if you get the dream job, even if you do really well at it, you can still get fired. That's the lesson right there. Life isn't fair. Life is not fair. And that's what Adrian Griffin's feeling today. Holy crap. Chris is saying this firing is crazy. It just shows you the NBA is a star-driven league. In a way, it's rather shameful. The truth is the Bucks can't play defense well enough to be winning in the playoffs. Yeah. In some ways, it's a fall guy. In some ways, this is a patsy. In some ways, this is a man that's innocent and just getting fallout. The trading of Drew Holiday is the bigger problem here, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Switching in Dame Lillard for Drew Holiday. Well, you had a defensive downgrade. And in some ways, this is what Hoobie Talks Hoops said on Twitter also. He's like, y'all are firing your coach when the problem is that you guys got rid of your defensive guard. And that changed everything about the makeup of your team. And sure, you can do that if you want, Giannis, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't. Joe Prunty, the fill-in coach, once again, he did this before. He was this guy who did this for Milwaukee way back before Budenholzer came in. So once again, he's in that temporary head coach job. Once again, Trevor J is here. Good morning, Raptors family. Doc Rivers consulted Adrian Griffin right out on the job. But he is not using Damian the right way, and now he's the head coach that looks like some grimy shit. So Trevor's alluding to the fact that Doc Rivers was hired by the Bucks to be a consultant to Adrian Griffin about how to run the team, and then somehow, some way, Doc may be finagled into his job. I mean, that may be some dirty shit that Doc did. Maybe on the side, he's talking to them. Yeah, I could coach this team better than him if you just fire him. You go ahead and fire him. I'll take the job. And Giannis like, really, Doc? You want to coach me? He's like, yeah, I'll coach you, Giannis. Okay. And it's like, whoa, all right, I'll tell them. It could be something like that, Trevor J. I wouldn't put it past this crazy stuff. I don't know. Doc Rivers, in some ways, you're much better on TV talking about it than coaching it. And I like you as an announcer. I really do like you sitting there with Mike Breen instead of you standing on the sidelines wasting everybody's time thinking that you're still a valuable coach in today's NBA. I mean, that's kind of what it's at, Doc Rivers, at this point, man. Seriously? You going to get another shot? I mean, obviously, he's going to want to drive that car. It's got Giannis and Dame Lillard in it. And of course, he's going to take that job if he gets it offered. But honestly, he's a better TV personality than a coach. That's your folly, Milwaukee Bucks. You'll see around playoff time. You'll find out. Yeah. Chris is also saying Dame was a mistake over Drew. Dame was a high volume West Coast shooter, but this team never went far unless he was hitting miracle shots from half court. So now Doc Rivers, I'm going to laugh. Yeah. I don't think he's an upgrade, honestly. I think that Adrian probably is a better coach than Doc Rivers right now. And that this is just another mistake by them. You know, Drew, that was a mistake. I called it when it happened. I said it when it happened. I said, you get Dame Lillard like this and you have Drew Holiday leaving, your team got worse. I said that at that time. I said, I don't think they got better. And some people were like, well, they were all mystified by the starstruckness of it. Oh, they got Lillard and Antetokounmpo, Lex. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Their defense got worse. And I was right. Right. I said that. The Milwaukee's going to be worse. Although their record is still really good. They're still a top team in the East, but the man got fired. The man got fired still. G saying, I think what the organization is not realizing is that they traded Drew and the supporting cast around Giannis are now even older. Not sure if this is a coaching issue or their roster makeup now. Yeah. Yeah. It's as simple as that. G's saying the same thing. It's like Giannis can think it's this. In some ways, it's a sacrifice. It's just like taking the virgin to the top of the volcano and tossing her in. It's just like we need to give a sacrifice to the gods of Giannis. Giannis, the god, needs a sacrifice. And well, Adrian Griffin's that sacrifice. And in some ways, it's weird because Giannis probably hated them firing Budenholzer last year. He probably was the one person who said, do not fire Coach Budenholzer. But there was so much momentum because of failure of losing the first round as the top Eastern team to the Miami Heat, a play-in team, that the momentum of the Bucks Nation and other people were like, no, you need to fire Coach Bud. Coach Bud needs to be fired. And Giannis may have been the only person saying, no, you will not fire my coach. But nobody listened to him. I'll bet you that was part of it too right there because he did really like Coach Bud a lot. Tristan saying, wow, laugh out loud. Yeah, wow. Wow, what a crazy firing. 30 games, 43 games in the season, and this guy won 30 of them. They fired his ass. It's crazy. Trevor's saying, do you think we should bring Kyle back to work with the young guys and Scotty to teach them what it takes to win and bring back that winning culture? I mean, in an ideal world, this would be awesome. I think that if you do this, it does seem like Charlotte's going to move Kyle once again. I don't think he's thrilled about going to Hornets. In some ways, I don't know if it totally makes sense. I would do this. I mean, but it doesn't totally make total sense. Is the money right? That's one thing I would ask. I know he's still on some sort of crazy contract, and we don't need to be taking a contract on if it has more years on it next year. No, that's for sure. I don't know. As long as it makes sense. If it makes sense, we'll do it. I mean, this is what it would look like to me, Trevor, if it makes sense. We're trading Dennis Schroeder for Kyle Lowry, and he's going to the Hornets, and we're getting Kyle for him. And they just switch roles. That's the only way I see this working. It's got to be Dennis. Dennis has got to be traded for him. Now, I don't know how much Kyle's salary is. I don't know. I mean, I know Kyle would do this. He'd be all about this. I mean, if he's not going to be in Miami, I'm sure he'd love to just come back to Toronto. I'm sure there's other playoff teams that may be interested in getting Lowry also right now. But if it's going to happen, honestly, we can't have so many guards on our team. We're going to have to trade some of our guards back to the Hornets for this to happen. I love Dennis. You've heard how much I talk about Dennis on this. But if we could trade Dennis for Kyle Lowry right now, I would do it. I would. Even though, I mean, in some ways, Dennis is way faster and better defensively, and he's all kinds of other stuff. But there's stuff that Kyle has that's tenacity and smarts and, like you're saying, leadership, culture. But also Dennis has a lot of that stuff too, but in a different way, but not totally at the same level as Kyle. And Kyle has that, yeah, I'm a champion on this franchise kind of, it hits like that. Yeah, I'm the GROAT. I'm the guy, and people love me here already. And I'm an institutionalized here as far as a great in this franchise history. So I don't know. In some ways, that's the only way it happens, Trevor. But I don't know if it's in the cards for happening. I don't know if it's in our priorities. I mean, we just traded a bunch of guys because they weren't on the timeline of Scotty. I mean, a little end of visit with Kyle Lowry and give him little Professor Lowry lessons to young Scott Wayne Barnes. That'd be awesome. But I don't know if it's in the cards. Fiercey's here. Good morning, fam, and happy Wednesday. So many dumpster fires yesterday. Woo! Bucks were wrong in their approach by fire involving Doc Rivers prior to the firing. Crazy. Their defense will suck regardless. Yeah, in some ways they're doomed in their own way. They're all kind of doomed in their own way. Giannis for being the way he was and getting him fired. Dame for being a punk ass bitch last summer and being so demanding. Yeah, you guys make the bed that you're gonna sleep in. Yeah, Milwaukee. In some ways, I want to root for y'all. I like y'all. Y'all are a small market, and I want to, see you guys succeed over teams like the Sixers and the Celtics. But y'all are making yourselves into a villain. You did our guy AG dirty, and we still love Coach Griff. Don't get me wrong. We don't like Nick Nurse. No, we don't. Nick Nurse, yeah, he's like Vince Carter coach to us at this point. But Griffin's solid. We love Coach Griff, and we don't like how you did him. Raptors Nation doesn't approve. Let's just put it that way. We don't approve of that. Fiercely saying Tristan Thompson, I don't care. Yeah, Tristan Thompson, you don't care. Let me see what else you're saying there, because it jumped right when you said that. Tristan Thompson, I don't care, is the first part of it. Kyle Lowry, we need to bring him back home. Yeah, Tristan Thompson getting suspended for 25 games for using an illegal banned steroid substance. He's taking something, the juice. He's doping, and they caught him red-handed. And in some ways, I could witness this shit. Team Canada is playing in the Olympics this summer. They're playing with a team that's not got a whole lot of size. In some ways, and Rowan Barrett was on a radio show yesterday talking about Team Canada. He said they are prioritizing guys who've been in the program already with what we've been already doing. He said, with the coaching change last summer of Nick Nurse to Jordy Fernandez, suddenly, part of the reason why Team Canada had success at FIBA World Cup last summer still is the continuity of the roster and the players being together for the time that they had. So it paid off. The idea that Nick proposed and said we need to do this worked in his absence. Now, because of that, Rowan Barrett Sr. is saying that he's going to prioritize keeping the team as much like it was last summer. So everybody who's wishing for a Canada All-Star Olympic team this summer, you're not going to get it, first of all. Now, he said he will tinker with it depending on need. Like if we need a need for our team, like we have glaring holes with what we're going to try and do this summer, then maybe he'll bring in a new name, like a Jamal Murray, like maybe an Andrew Wiggins. Probably not an Andrew Wiggins, but a Jamal Murray is probably very likely. Now, one of the things I've said is that Olynyk and Eddie are really our only two bigs. And in some ways, if we're listening to Rowan Barrett Sr. say that we're going to look at what we may be weak in, he might want to add a big man. And there was a lot of talk going on around recently about Tristan Thompson possibly being on Team Canada this summer. Because in some ways, he's very much a vet big man, and he is a very big man, and he is serviceable. And in some ways, he is perfect for FIBA action. As much as I've talked about how Chris Boucher may not be a good fit for Team Canada, Tristan Thompson in a lot of ways is. Well, maybe people caught wind of this, and maybe I'm going to be conspiracy theorists and stuff like that. Well, let's just make sure he's not going to be involved in Team Canada this summer. Let's slap him with a doping charge. Boom, 25-game suspension. Pretty much most of the rest of the season, Tristan Thompson will not be allowed to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And in some ways, this sullies his reputation to really not make it conducive for him to join Team Canada this summer. Think about it that way. Now, I'm not going to say that, Rowan Barrett Sr. will say, no, you can't be on the team. He probably wasn't totally thinking about him anyway, but he's probably definitely not thinking about him now. So I don't think he's an option. I was going over it. I was like, well, there's other big guys too. We could go get Trey Lyles. Trey Lyles might actually be a really good big man to add to the roster, too. What about the guy who's hurt on the Grizzlies that we just saw recently, Brandon Clark? He's another very talented young big man that's Canadian in the NBA. So, yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, Tristan Thompson suspended for 25 games. Well, how will this affect Team Canada? It could, because he's not available anymore. He's not an option to be a possible big man on our new team this summer at the Olympics. So, yeah, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. You want to bring Kyle back. I hear you. I hear you, Fiercey. Chris is saying, I think Lowry should come back, but I do wonder if him and Darko would see eye to eye and if Lowry is a fan of Barnes. But regardless, Lowry should come back. Maybe the stars align. Could be. I mean, he's not on Miami anymore, so he is loose. Let me tell you. I think that he'd be fine with Darko. This is the thing. Kyle's not the young Kyle that he used to be, and he's a butthead. Yeah, and some of the ways he deal with the coaches that in his young career, you can ask Kevin McHale. He had different issues with Kyle when they were in Houston. But listen, that's not what the issue is here. The issue is not that. He would be fine. In fact, he'd be welcomed by Darko very much. He would be helped a lot. He is a fan of Barnes. I've heard Kyle Lowry talk about Scotty Barnes in very, very glowing ways. In fact, even though he never played with Scotty Barnes, he really loves the fact that he's on our team because he wants our franchise to be in good hands. And Kyle Lowry has made it very known that he's proud of Scotty Barnes, even though he really has nothing to do with him because he's the future of our franchise. And he does actually really, truly love the Toronto Raptors franchise. So, yeah, he would love to play alongside Scotty. And I'm sure Scotty would really enjoy having a Groat on the team with him like Kyle Lowry. Let's see. Fiercely saying another ref mishap yesterday. Blazers versus Oklahoma City. 10 seconds left in the game. Brogdon and Billups calling for a timeout. The refs didn't listen. Coach was mad and was ejected. Controversial year for the refs. Refs are shitty. The veil is being lifted. The refs are corrupt. They're fucked up. And, yeah, I heard about this. Portland is protesting the end of the game last night because a timeout was missed by the referees that they wanted to call. Chauncey Billups is pissed. And they're doing a formal complaint about the outcome of the game. This does not happen very often. It hasn't happened in a little while. And this is a big deal. This is something where they're going to try and debate whether the game should be given a win to the other side. And they have a case to say that it shouldn't and that it was messed up. And the refs are doing horrible. There was a game the other night that the two-minute report came out after, and they had 10 incorrect calls in the last 2-minute report. That is 10 bad calls in the last 2 minutes of a game. Missed calls. Yeah, the refs are really shitty, and they're under a microscope right now. They very much are. They very much are. Let's see. Trevor J saying, the game between Brooklyn and New York was crazy, but New York Knicks came from behind to win the game. It was a good fight between the Clippers and the Lakers, but in the end, the Clippers win. Well, those are the two better teams in those two cities, and that makes sense. The Lakers are a joke. The Lakers are an absolute joke. LeBron James is a fraud, and the Clippers are actually a team that may do something this year. Yeah, and then on the other side, yeah, the Nets are a joke. They're not very good, and the Knicks are going to do something now because they got OG Anunoby. And, yeah, OG didn't even have a very big game, but he had winning effect on the game. In fact, he had the highest plus-minus, I believe, for the Knicks, and he only had under 10 points. So, yeah, winning with OG in New York City. That's what's going on right now. Cowboys saying good morning, Lex and Freaks. Bam. Good to see you, Cowboy. And on that note, I'm going to start the WILDCARD Wednesday segment of the show. I got the WILDCARD Wednesday box, the commemorative Raptors 25th season ticket holders box. I will open it up. And the first time we're going to do a WILDCARD Wednesday, and I'm going to get a couple of decks of cards, a couple of packs of cards outside of this. We've got two different styles of packs we're going to open today. I've got a NBA Hoops set from this year, and I've got a Panini Mosaic pack of cards from last year. So let's do the one from last year. And let's have some fun. WILDCARD Wednesday. And let's see what we get in the cards and my reactions to them. I'll make funny jokes about the players too. All right, I'm opening it. This is new. All right, let's see. First player on top. Okay, we got somebody who just got traded. Somebody who got traded to the Washington Wizards. We got Marvin Bagley III. And he's in a Pistons uniform, of course. Pistons Marvin Bagley III. Yeah, he just got traded. Actually looked really good in the first Washington game for the Wizards. really getting up and down the court and throwing it down. So Marvin Bagley, Wizard, as a Piston. That's the first card. Ooh, looky here. Looky. Looks like we got my favorite birthday boy that shares a birthday with me in a Philadelphia jersey to boot. I've got a James Harden Sixers card. I actually really love this card. I'm really going to prize this because this will always remind me of the fun that James caused in Philadelphia. And this is a great card for me to have. Wow, I love this card already. It's James Harden in a Sixers jersey. Wow, that seems like that might be a valuable card, actually. Okay, here we go. Here's our guy Scotty's namesake, Harrison. Harrison Barnes of the Sacramento Kings. He's actually on my fantasy team right now. He's done pretty good this year so far. But yeah, Harrison Barnes, not my favorite Barnes in the league, but a Barnes nonetheless. Next we've got, this is funny. Another guy who's in a lot of the conversations right now. In a Laker jersey, we got D'Angelo Russell, the unwanted Laker. The poor man he's never wanted by the Lakers for long. We like you as a rookie. Okay, you're traded. Oh, you're coming back? Yeah, LeBron likes you right now. No, we don't like you anymore. You're getting traded again. This guy's probably going to get traded any minute now. D'Angelo Russell. So I got a D'Angelo Russell Lakers card. Let's see what else we got. Okay, who is that? I don't even recognize this guy. This is some no-name Atlanta Hawk player that I don't even know who he is. I can't even read the name on there. What's that say? Tyrese Martin? Tyrese Martin. Yeah, I don't know who you are, bro. This doesn't happen very often when I get a card and I'm like, I have no fucking idea who this guy is. Tyrese Martin. Have y'all ever heard of Tyrese Martin? Seriously. I've never heard of him myself. All right, here's the special card. Who is it? Oh, wow. We do have some Raptors content. We got a Norman Powell special foil card. Look at this. Norman Powell, Los Angeles Clippers, shiny, looking like it should be in your bike spokes. Reflector card. Look at that. I don't know why it's green and red like it's a Christmas card. It's like, I don't know. I got some Norman Powell Clippers Christmas card. Joy to the world. I've got Norman Powell. He's in my basketball card collection. Actually, I like this card. It's pretty sweet. So I got some good Clippers in this deck. I really like the James Harden card. And I really like that Norman Powell Christmas card. Wow. Winning on Wednesday. Winning on WILDCARD Wednesday. That's right. And some of these cards, like I said, these aren't going to just go to my collection. I'm going to bring them to the meet and greet. And some of these fantastic cards, like this Marvin Bagley III card, you could get it. You've seen it on the show. You might get it down the road. That's right. All right, let's open the NBA Hoops cards now. Next. Yeah, this is fun. WILDCARD Wednesday in full effect, y'all. The new format, as suggested by my niece and nephew. They're associate producers. Wow, these cards, there's a lot more of them. And they're very, very nice. I like these cards so far. So let's see what's up. First, we've got from the Denver Nuggets, another player. I have no idea who the fuck they are. This is Jalen Pickett. I don't know who he is. Jalen Pickett. I have a feeling we might see him at 11 o'clock playing for the Grand Rapids Gold. Some sort of Nuggets player. I do not know who they are from this year. And we might see Jalen Pickett around 11 o'clock. 9:05 are playing, and he's probably on their team, the Gold. Okay, who we got here? Oh, this one would make Jill happy. We've got Moses Moody of the Golden State Warriors. This is somebody that they were talking about. Maybe we get traded to us. If we traded Siakam to Golden State, we would have got maybe Moody. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that thrilled. These guys are kind of lower end guys. Okay, this guy's in the news this week, and this guy's it's pretty crazy. I don't know the full story about what happened, but this guy's been suspended and fined for going into the stands in the G League game the other day against the Birmingham Squadron, Imani Bates. Yeah, he was playing in a G League game this week, and Tim and one of the other players on the Cleveland Charge went into the stands after some of the fans in Birmingham. We just played in Birmingham. I've seen that crowd there, and it's not very big. Maybe there's some trash talking, but boy, that's not the look the NBA wants to see, Imani Bates. You trying to do a Ron Artest impression. Don't go up in there. No. That's a big no-no in the NBA. That's a big no-no in the NBA. Imani Bates. So far, I feel like I'm getting G Leaguers so far with this hoop set. Let's see who's next. What the? Oh, this is actually kind of a cool card. This is a Brandon Miller card. So this is like his rookie year card. I don't know if this is actually his rookie card because it looks kind of special. Maybe it is. I think it might be. I don't know. It looks like a special rookie note card. So we got a Brandon Miller Hornets card. He's a good player. He's part of the reason why the Hornets won their game the other night when they had no business winning it. He had a huge scoring game in that game. All right, here we go. We got a Celtic, one that I don't totally mind, Al Horford. In some ways, if there's Celtics that I kind of like, it's Jalen, Drew, and Al. Those are probably the only three I kind of like. But yeah, Al Horford, I respect him. I respect his long career. Let's see who's next. Oh wow, this is a big time card right here. This is a face of the league, Anthony Edwards. I got an Anthony Edwards card straight up. That's kind of cool. That's a pretty good card to have. The face of USA basketball, Anthony Edwards, supposedly a face of the league. Let's see if I get any more cool ones in here. There's a lot in this deck. All right, this is Io DeSumo. I got the young Bulls guard. Not a bad player. Of course, it's not his rookie card because it's his second year, I believe. Second or third year, actually. Next, I've got, oh, fuck. Really? I don't know. Does this guy have dog in him? That's right, Patrick Beverly. Holy crap, I got Patrick Beverly. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something with this Patrick Beverly card right now in honor of it. I'm going to eat it up like a dog would. Harf, harf, harf. You think you're bad, Patrick Beverly? You don't think you got no dogs in Toronto? I'll show you how dog we are. Y'all want to see if I'm going to swallow it. Woo. Yeah, motherfucker, you're my new chew toy. That's right, bitch. I chewed you up and spit you out. That's what you get. All right, let's see. We know that's not going to be worth anything, so I'm not worried about it. Oh, shit. Oh, I thought that was somebody else for a second, but it isn't. It's another no-name Denver Nugget, so we might see them in the gold game in an hour. Peyton Watson? Peyton Watson. I don't know him either. We're getting some no-name Nuggets players here. Okay, DeAndre Hunter. I think I've gotten a DeAndre Hunter card in the other set already, too. DeAndre Hunter, okay. Not too exciting. Oh, wow. This is another big-time young star in the league, Darius Garland. I got a Darius Garland card. That's pretty, that's respect. He's a good player. He's a good player. Let's see. Who's next? Oh, we got the good Jalen Williams. I got the other Jalen Williams in the other cards, and now I've got the good Jalen Williams in this cards. The one with you know which one I'm talking about. The one that's supposedly one of the superstars on their team. Jalen without the Y, Jalen Williams. Holy shit. 2 packs today. And in both packs, I got the recently traded Marvin Bagley III. So I've got 2 Marvin Bagley III cards today. I guess he's a player of the day. Marvin Bagley III of the Washington Wizards. I've got 2 cards of him with the Pistons. 2 more cards, and they're special cards. Let's see what this is. This is a weird one. I don't understand why it's so purpley. It's a Markelle Fultz Orlando Magic card, but for some reason it's like purple border. I don't know why it's special like that. And then here's the last one. And boy, this is a fitting one to last card. It's a specialty card, a Skyview card from Portland of Damian Lillard. Of course, we're going to have him end this up. All right. Well, there you go. This is the WILDCARD Wednesday. I think that my favorite cards are obviously Norman and James. They're awesome. I'm going to give – I was kind of excited to see the Brandon Miller rookie card. And what's the other card? Anthony Edwards. That Anthony Edwards card is probably going to be worth something. Yeah, that's probably going to be worth something. Although it's like, yeah. Okay, so yeah, those are probably my 4 best cards that I got today. Are those ones. Let me see if there's one here that I want to. Yeah, I think that's it. So here's my picks from the WILDCARD Wednesday. Norman Powell Christmas card. I love it. James Harden in a Sixers jersey. You got to love that. Brandon Miller rookie card. And Anthony Edwards fun card. Yeah, so there you go. There's the Wild Card Wednesday. Winning. That's right. Patrick Beverly. That was awesome. Yeah, that was fun. I like dissing Patrick Beverly by eating his basketball card live on a live stream. That's fun. That's fun. All right, there you go. There's the Wild Card Wednesday segment for today. When we have another Wednesday open like this during the summer, we're going to be doing this every Wednesday. So tune in to Rabbit Free Channel every Wednesday this summer for more card openings. There's going to be a new segment. All right, let's see what else is going on in y'all's chat. Let's see what's up. Fiercely saying at Chris, yeah, the chemistry he had with the old Kyle may not share it with this new look Raptors team, but Charlotte definitely ain't it for him. It's kind of disrespectful in my opinion. Yeah, I mean the league's full of disrespect. It's a business, obviously. You're gonna do that to Adrian Griffin. You're gonna do that to Kyle Lowry. It's a business, obviously. I think he'd be fine. I don't understand why you're worried about Kyle coming back here. He's an institution. He knows everybody who was here, and he would fit like a glove. And it's not like he's not dumb enough. I mean, he's a smart guy. He's going to understand how to not step on toes and do things right to fit with the current ecosystem of the Raptors. They've already got friends of his like Thad and Otto and those older guys that he can hang around and pal with. So I don't see it as being an issue. I don't think it's a bad fit. I don't think you could. I think you could put Kyle Lowry on any Raptors team and he would fit, just because he's a Toronto Raptor legend. You could put him anywhere, anytime. Yeah, Chris is saying it fiercely. In the end, it's the end of the road for Kyle. A trip back to Jurassic Park could be a decent idea, depending on if the coaching staff wants that. Bringing him back as an agent of culture and all. Yeah, there's a couple of things that are kind of not good about having Kyle. And one of the biggest ones is his proclivity to not want to practice. In some ways, that was one of the things that held us back the last couple of years when he was on our team, is he's not a big fan of practice. He kind of is somebody who's like, yeah, we don't need to do this. In fact, when they said after we traded him to Miami, the first year Scotty was on the team, we had a new regiment of practice. We actually started practicing way more. Fred talked about it. He's like, yeah, we're going to have way more practices now that Kyle's gone, because in some ways he's anti-practice. He's not about coming in and doing all this. And in some ways, Nick didn't have as many practices when Kyle Lowry was on the team as he did the year that he was gone, the couple of years after that. So that's the one thing that I wouldn't be cool about. You'd have to show up and do the practices like Darko has them doing right now. Like they're doing a training camp right now. They're busy every single day this week getting their shit together. And Kyle, you'd have to be there. It'd be crucial. So that may be my biggest concern about it. It's not that Kyle's lazy. It's just that in some ways, if he doesn't have to do something, he won't do it. Is kind of where he's at with his things. He's like, I'll show up and play and I'll be myself and I'll do badass things, but don't expect me to come down and be Siakam at practice, because that ain't gonna fucking happen. It ain't gonna happen. Let's see what else y'all are saying. Fiercely saying at Trevor, yes, I got nervous at some point when the Lakers got back. I like watching these games because you see the impacts of willingness and fight I'm projecting and manifesting for my Raptors. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, angry old hoops fan has been on a real binge of putting out stuff anti LeBron, and I'm watching it. In some ways, I eat it up. Angry old hoops fans. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm picking it up, and I believe what you're saying. And he's just pointing out just how lazy LeBron is, just how full of shit his career was. I watched a piece on the thing about LeBron and his longevity and the bullshit about 10 points in every game and just how they've kind of kept that up. And then like they conveniently, this is his main point. He's saying, the 10 points thing with LeBron is stupid because it only pertains to regular season. There's a lot of playoff games where he has not gotten 10 points. They don't like to point that out. So they're conveniently wrapping the standards for the record they're talking about by taking out the postseason stuff. Because if they put the postseason stuff in there, LeBron does not keep that record. He has games that he did not make double digits. And then he goes over the whole scheme of things is like how his longevity record is kind of stupid because, first of all, the NBA players, a lot of times they're not playing as hard as they used to. The games are a little bit different. It's a lot cushier. So I highly recommend Angry Old Hoops fan in his channel. He's just smearing LeBron James left and right and really telling the truth about how lazy he is and how much of a fraud he is. And it's very, very interesting channel. It really is like a smear campaign for LeBron James and LeBron sexuals as Jam Joe said the other day, would probably hate that channel. And he probably gets a lot of crap from people that do love LeBron for doing it. Cowboy saying, I'm not surprised that the Bucks did this to Griffin. Hopefully he finds a new home and he does well. I mean, I felt like he was going to get fired as soon as he got hired. I don't know why. I had these feelings. It's like, some reason I feel like Griff's going to get fired like at the end of this season. I thought it would be at the end of the season. But man, they couldn't wait. They did it halfway. That's such a raw, cold world we live in. Holy crap. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Bring AG back home. Bring back Kyle Lowry on a buyout market and to mentor the BBQ squaddies. A 1 year farewell tour to retirement. I don't even know if Kyle wants just one more year. I don't think he's ready to retire, y'all. Some people are saying he's like, he wants to retire, he's old and stuff. I don't know. In some ways, if you talk to him, he'd probably tell you, I want to play for 3 more years. And he might be able to still. I don't know how we bring back Adrian. I know that with the way we changed our coaching staff this past summer, I don't think he's allowed to come back or not wanted to come back because he's a part of the old regime and all the issues from last year. In some ways, if we were going to keep Adrian, we would have just hired him. He would have been our new coach instead of Darko. I don't see this because Darko in some ways has been very, very selective of his assistant coaches. And I don't see Adrian Griffin coming back any kind of way to the Raptors anymore in the future, even. So I just don't see that scenario. Kyle Lowry, yeah, I could see a scenario where that happens. .com saying the issue was with Portis and Griffin, not Giannis and Griffin. Really? The issue was with Portis and Griffin? Really? That's good, interesting intel. I just assumed it was Giannis because in some ways, I mean, we saw issues with him and Giannis publicly, blatantly in the middle of games. There'd be times Griffin's like, come on out, Giannis. And he's like, no, man. No, doc. No, I'm staying in. He's like, no, come on out. Come on out. I'm the coach. I need to sit you for just a little bit. No, man, I'm telling you, I'm staying in. Yeah, no. I mean, Bobby Portis? Seriously, Bucks? You're going to fire your coach because of Bobby Portis? Well, this is even worse than .com. This is even worse. I mean, I could justify it if it's the franchise player. Giannis just doesn't like the guy. But they're listening to Bobby Portis, and he has that much power that he can get Adrian Griffin fired from his job. That's fucked up. Man, this really scary to be a coach at this point. You got to worry about old bug-eyed backup center Bobby Portis not liking you and you get fired. Hey, owner of the Bucks, I don't like Adrian Griffin. You want him fired, Bobby? We love you. You and your crazy bug eyes. We'd love for you to just be happy. We'll fire him today. Oh, yeah, I'd really like that. That'd be great. Okay, then. We're done it already. That's crazy. What's next? Fucking Joe Ingles? I hate this guy. He really doesn't like my Australian accent. Well, he's fired then, Joe Ingles. They're just firing coaches because the role players don't like them? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Seriously.com. Think about what you're saying. They fired him because of Bobby Portis. What the fuck is that? You know that's not true. They fired him because of Giannis. You know that's not true. The only person that could get somebody fired on Milwaukee as a coach is Giannis. So think about your logic there. Come on now. Cool Cat saying Giannis only wanted Coach Bud. That's right. He never wanted him fired. He is not open to other systems. Doc Rivers will not win either. Dame is a defensive sieve. Beasley a defensive sieve. But mistaken trading Holiday core problem. Yeah, Coach Cool Cat is astute and she knows her basketball and she just analyzed it exactly right. I think that's a lot of it. I mean, Anacomto loved playing for Bud. Why the fuck did they listen to the fans and fire Coach Bud like that after his brother died? That's horrible. I thought that there'd be some sort of weird thing where it's like Coach Bud is really sad and he can't coach anymore right now because he's really in a bad place. Okay, well, we're going to fire you, but we'll circle back. And we'll hire you later. Like if they hired Coach Bud back today, would y'all be surprised? And it's kind of like, oh, he got like almost a year to grieve his brother, have some time off, get a little rest. Maybe he's refreshed, come back in. Giannis is like, hey, Coach Bud, you're back. I love you, man. I'm so happy you're back, man. And boom. I could see that happening. That may make more sense for the Milwaukee Bucks. It's like, oh, my bad. We shouldn't have fired you. We shouldn't have fired you. And Giannis told us we shouldn't have. And now we're going to get you back. Fiercely saying, in reference to the Bucks firing, it was expected as fans kept complaining about Adrian's coaching, and he apparently lost the locker room. I just feel bad for him. Got the opportunity after 14 interviews, allegedly. Yeah, he's been up for jobs for a long, long time. This man went through the grind, waiting for his turn. Long, long time. And he finally gets his turn. And honestly, it's a really dream kind of turn. There's a really awesome, good spot on a good setup to win team. And everything's going right in some ways. See, this is part of the problem with toxic fan bases because they can add a lot of noise to things and make things tough. In fact, this may have been a factor with the Nick Nurse stuff with us last year, as far as things. Like if the front office is listening to the fans and we're all saying, yeah, Nick gave up on us, fuck him, fire his ass. They might listen. Just like with Budenholzer, they lost in the first round. You got to fire Coach Bud, and there's a pressure. That's why we need to be careful, fan nations, about not being so toxic and so demanding. Because in some ways, we're not good for our teams when we do that. We weren't necessarily good in getting rid of Nick Nurse because in some ways we see how awesome and valuable he is as a coach. But in some ways, it was irreparable, our situation. And there was no other way to do what we had to do than what we did. But with Coach Bud, I could see in that situation the Bucks fans overreacting, getting the pitchforks and the torches a little too quickly and chasing that man out of town, much to the chagrin of their franchise player. You know, I could see it being like that. So we need to really be careful about this, fan nations and people, because in some ways, y'all get those pitchforks and torches. Sometimes the front offices listen and they go do crazy shit and they fire people. So if that's really what y'all want, go mean it. But some of y'all are talking out your ass and you don't know jack shit about basketball. And you're saying this and this and this. I want this and want this. And you have no fucking good basis for why you want it in an intellectual, smart basketball way. You're just saying it. I hate Siakam. Get him off my team. You know, shit like that. Yeah, I'm sick of that shit. So realize in some ways our voices become a chorus. And there is a little bit of power in us to get our opinions out there and shape things. And yeah, that's part of what this is. Kevin's here. Kevin T's here. Good to see Kevin. Every morning, 9:30 a.m. He said, are we going to be bad enough this year to get the top 6 pick? We might be. And that might be intentional, Kevin. If we do not shore up our big man problems, if Jakob comes back, and even with him back, we cannot compete competitively because we don't have enough of big men on our front line, and we're going to lose rebounding battles, and we don't have a good enough defense in certain ways, we could lose enough to keep our pick. That may be part of the design. I don't know. We'll just have to see it as it goes. Now, if they do this, they're not doing it on purpose. It's the whole way I've described it is if our team isn't good enough to win, we just don't win. If the front office has not finished all the moves that they want to do to make our team good enough to win, then we're going to lose. That's just the pure, simple truth. And I don't know, Kevin. In some ways, we're saying one thing, but we may be doing another thing. It may not totally be adding up. Like we're playing to win. Darko wants to win. We're not doing things half-assed. We are trying our asses off to win games. But if our talent, if the makeup of our roster does not get rebounds, does not play defense, we're going to lose. And that's just how it is. So we're playing to win, but we may lose, is what I'm saying. Race Mode saying, Adrian was done dirty. I'll take $4 million to stay home. Bring home Kyle. Let's go, Precious. Where's Milbester? Edmund, I love you. Good morning to you. Yeah, I think Adrian was done dirty. In some ways, it is what it is, but he's going to get paid still. There's at least that. He doesn't have the pressure anymore. .com saying, it's not Giannis, shaking my head. Portis and Griffin got into a physical altercation after a loss to the Pacers during the IST. Then Portis went to top guys on the team, and they agreed with him. Team decision. Well, still, that's fucked up. I mean, I'll stand by everything I said before on this subject, that now role players are getting coaches fired. That's messed up. In some ways, look, I can get it. Some people don't get along, Bobby Portis and Adrian Griffin, but it's still weird. Like, he's a vet in this league for a long time. You don't get in physical altercations with your coach. In some ways, I think Bobby Portis is the fuckhead in this. I mean, I've seen how he acts on the court before. I saw how he got up in Pascal Siakam's face that one time in that one game. Fuck Bobby Portis. And fuck the Bucks management for thinking he's not the problem. And fucking that Adrian is. I mean, whatever they said and whatever was done, Let's just put it this way, .com. If Giannis had the Giannis seal of approval, he'd still have his job right now. If Giannis liked him, he'd still have his job right now. Let's just put it that way. You can say the instigators Portis, and there was a real bad incidents, but there were incidents with Giannis too. It wasn't just with Portis. And seriously, we're going to give that much power to role players in this league that they can get coaches fired in the middle of seasons? That's messed up. Either way, you have your side of seeing things. I have my side of seeing things. I know Giannis ultimately was why he got fired. Portis is just probably secondary part of it, just a secondary part of it. And we can both disagree or agree or whatever. We have our views. Fiercely saying Scotty would be great on the U.S. team, but still not enough to beat our squad. When they list the finalists, I wonder who submitted the names. Do the players and the agents do that? What are you talking about, Fiercey? Well, the list is made up by Team USA. Just like we have Rowan Barrett Sr., they have somebody, a USA guy who's in charge of USA basketball, and they look around the league. They see the guys they had last summer. They look at guys that may be interesting for them to add, and they make the list themselves. It has nothing to do with the agents. It has nothing to do with the NBA. It has something to do with Team USA basketball, men's basketball for the Olympic team. And they look at the blue chippers, the nice young studs, the good young American players, and they put them on a list. And Scotty Barnes should for damn sure be on that list. Oh, yeah. Now, I talked about this in the Facebook chat yesterday, so there may be a little rehashing. When I talked to Scott this summer on Twitch about FIBA, when it was going on, he ignored me. And in some ways, he looked like he was pissed off that I even brought FIBA up. I asked him, have you been watching Dennis at FIBA? He's your new teammate, and you should see what he's doing, because he's doing amazing things. And he's like, he looked annoyed. I think he was really pissed that they didn't consider him for Team USA at FIBA last year. I think he really was. I think he wants to go. He has a career history in the lower levels of USA basketball, playing for USA already. That's part of the reason why he's on that list, because he's represented USA in lower age groups. And, well, he feels like he's just destined to play for USA. I think it's important to Scott. And I think that what's going to happen is he gets this invite. He's going to kick so much ass. He's going to be on that Team USA for the Olympics this year. In some ways, I don't like that, but in some ways I do. I have to look at it as a no-lose scenario, just like everything. It's good for his prestige. If he wants to do that, go ahead and do that. Now, there's all kinds of reasons why I don't want him to do it. But if he really wants to do it and it's in his heart, I fully support him in what he wants to do, because I want that guy to be exactly who he wants to be. But in some ways, it'd be a lot less headaches if he's not on Team USA, kibitzing and hanging out with all the top players from the U.S. and getting into that mode in his head. You know, those kind of scenarios and places are where long-term plans get the seeds planted. And in some ways, I don't like that. And then there's also the injury risks of playing for Team USA this summer. So in some ways, it's like, I look at it this way. I'll be very happy if Scotty makes it. And I don't want him to not get what he doesn't want, because if he wants it, he's going to get it. Trust me. That's just how he is. But if he doesn't make it, I'll see the bright side of that also. So in some ways, it's like, I'm like, I could see him making it, because he's made such a leap this year. He's really exciting. He really is a good player to have on your team in all kinds of ways, that he probably will be on Team USA against Canada this summer. And it may be an RJ versus Scotty kind of thing at some point. So yeah, that's kind of how it goes, Fiercey. And that's my take on the whole thing with Scott. I know he probably does want to be on that team. I really do think he does. In some ways, I don't totally want him to be on that team, but if he wants to be on that team, I support him, and you go get what you want, Scott. But if you don't make it, don't take it as a slight. Don't take it as a slight. In some ways, we'll breathe a sigh of relief, because you won't be that involved with it this whole summer. And instead, you can work on your program and do all the things that Darko wants you to get ready for the next season for the Raptors, instead of run around this summer with Team USA at the Olympics. Now, I know for prestige, you'd like to be there. Oh, yeah. The chance to go there and represent your country and maybe get a gold medal, that's a big deal. I know. And that's why I wouldn't want to say, no, I don't want you to do it. I'll say, yeah, you do it if you want to, go ahead. But in some ways, I can see the pluses and benefits of you not doing it. And also, if you do it, I can see them too. So yeah, it's an interesting situation. Fun guy saying physical altercation. Damn, I wonder who won that match. Griffin and Portis, they're a similar size. Griff's a little smaller. .com saying yes, and the locker room doesn't respect Griffin. Well, in some ways, I could see that. I mean, this is the problem. If Giannis is not going to respect him correctly in the game when he's telling him to come out of the game, well, why would anybody on the team respect him? The respect of your coach is so fragile and important. And it's really, really difficult in the NBA today. It has been for a long time. Well, it's only got worse as far as keeping respect of players and on your team and stuff like that. It's only gotten worse. It's tough. Fiercely saying race mode, yes to Kyle, no to Adrian Griffin. As for Milbester, he'll come close to the end of the live with 15 paragraphs and get Lex riled up. All love the Milbester. Fiercely, you're funny. You're funny. You're gonna get a dunk for your very true statement. And now you're only one behind Kareem. But yeah, this is probably what's going to happen with Milbester. I can see this. Cowboys laughing. Dana is laughing. Fiercely saying, must be nice to be Doc Rivers, coaching all these phenomenal players. Just too bad people keep getting back to the 3-1 playoff fiasco. Yeah, like I said, Doc won a championship with the Celtics a long time ago. And he's been kind of coasting off of that for a long time since. He has not been a winning coach in the playoffs for a long, long time. And in some ways, the game's moved past him. He really doesn't have original ideas. In some ways, the last couple of years of him in Philadelphia were just a waste of time. You could ask Sixers fans. They tell you that. So, Bucks, you go ahead. You want to waste your time with Doc Rivers as your coach for a little while? You go ahead. You go ahead. That's your right. That's your right. You can go ahead and waste your time with that. Let's see. Fun Guy's saying, someone in here is lying. There was no physical altercation I'm seeing. Only Portis calling out the team and coach in locker room after loss to Pacers. Well, that may have been kept in-house. I don't know. .com may be right as far as they're not going to broadcast this and put it all over the place. You see the damage the Draymond and Jordan Poole thing had to the Warriors. So in some ways, they're going to keep this under wraps. It could be this is underlying rumor shit that's not actually officially out there as news. But I could see it happening. In fact, I kind of remember hearing this kind of happen. What .com said, that there was an altercation between Bobby Portis and Adrian Griffin this season. So, I mean, either way, this is all, a lot of this is speculation, and we're just kind of trying to figure out what the fuck happened for him to lose his job. Fiercely saying Dame is helping the Bucks on the offensive side. That's it. Darko managed to boost our offense as a whole team, so I'm glad we didn't pursue Dame. Yeah, Dame was a dead end the whole time. Everybody just gets all enchanted with a new big name and their idea and the fantasies of seeing it in our jersey, and they don't really get the reality of the fit. They don't really think about everything that has to do with it, and they're just kind of they like new things and they want to feel the newness of the possibility of Damian Lillard being a Raptor, and they don't really look at it realistically. In some ways, he was a folly for whatever team was going to pick him up because he's older. In some ways, look, the problems in Portland weren't necessarily the team all the time. Some of it's you, bro. Some of it is you. And some of the problems you had in Portland, well, they followed you to Milwaukee. So think about that. .com saying it's documented, my guy. Nobody's lying. You see, I believe .com. I believe .com, and it's all good. It's all good. I just think that Giannis is probably the person who has more say and swing in that organization for that to happen yesterday. Most saying craziest day in sports yesterday. Thinking of you, AG. Tristan Thompson, you are dumb. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Can't stay long. I'm on the road. All right, Monique. Well, be safe on the road, Willie Nelson. On the road again. Monique just can't wait to get on the road again. Sharing time with friends and family with them friends. Monique cannot just wait to get on the road again. Love it. I love you, Monique. Fun Guy saying, misinformation in your chat isn't good, Lex. A physical altercation between a coach and player is serious news. It would be everywhere, especially in relation to a coach we groomed here in Toronto. I think that what's happening here is maybe we're misconstruing the level of the physical altercation. It's not like it was a drag out, punch them out. They live Keith David, Roddy Piper fight in an alleyway. No. It may have just simply been I'm grabbing you for a second and you're grabbing me and we're just in the heat of the moment and then we stop. That could be a physical altercation right there. Now, if it's something very serious where it's a criminal charge as far as assault and battery, that's something different. But I could see them just getting heated and getting in each other's faces and maybe pushing each other, and that can be considered a physical altercation. I do remember this report, Fun Guy. Listen, I want to be nice and friendly to everybody. .com's been in here and there. This isn't something to call them out as being a liar. I mean, we say a lot of things on this channel, and I don't want anybody doing that. So in some ways, watch out, Fun Guy. No personal attacks. We know about that. And let .com speak what their truth is, and we'll just talk about it. You don't have to believe what .com's saying, but these are good, pertinent factors to trying to figure out why the fuck Adrian Griffin got fired yesterday. So it's all good. And I am against misinformation, my man. I love you, fun guy. But yeah, let's not sully the reputation of .com. .com seems like they're a very helpful person in this situation right now. I appreciate you. Fiercely saying, I'm not IG savvy, but the fact that Kyle allegedly unfollowed his Heat teammates in the organization is interesting. I wonder if he unfollowed Jimmy Butler as well. That's sad. I mean, I'm sure him and Jimmy are good no matter what. So I don't think that this would be a huge problem in a lot of different ways. So all right, I'm gonna have to go really really fast on this, guys, and no more comments because I want to get done before 11. We have a Raptors 905 game at 11, guys. So I'm gonna read these really quick, and we'll kind of get through this real fast. No, 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 no. Wow, lots of good names here. Yeah, I want to do the Instagram check. There's not really that much interesting. They're talking about Scotty being selected to the U.S. select team. Thaddeus Young's got a Valentine's Day special with Reformed Transportation. If you want a luxury van or SUV, you can get a good deal on it and pick up your honey and take her out on a Valentine's Day date. Yeah, and then there's he's talking about the Thad boys. Team Thad is at McDonald's game every year. They got two guys in there. Koloko and Siakam are celebrating something that happened with the Cameroonian soccer team. Something big happened, and there's an advertisement on Siakam's him in the purple. The Pacers fans really hate that Siakam's posting stuff with him in purple and wearing purple shoes at their games. Siakam still loves us, y'all. You just need to understand that. And he's posting a clip from when he went to McDonald's with the little girl to get a Siakam swirl. So yeah, the Siakam swirl is still in effect up here in Toronto, Pacers fans. And y'all can say he's at home and all this, but it's just not the damn truth. It's hollow when y'all say that. The home is in Toronto. He's playing for y'all. He's going to do good things for y'all, but don't get it twisted. Home for Siakam is in Toronto. And that purple he still wears signifies it. Marquise Noel is showing the winter of Toronto yesterday out his apartment window. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now, Noel. You better be careful because I know where you live now. Because if you're going to post this kind of stuff, I can see where you are. And I know this city really well. So I know the building you're staying in at this point, Marquise Noel. So be careful with your Instagram posts and being in downtown because people can figure out where you live from the landmarks, just so you know, Marquise. Because of your faith, it will happen. Matthew 9:29. That's right. Hopefully, maybe you're ready to play today. I don't know, Marquise. That hamstring looked really bad. But in some ways, I'm seeing signs that you're bouncing back from it okay. I fully expect you to not play today, miss today. But if you do play, I'll be like, hell yeah, Marquise is back. And that hamstring injury was nothing. I'd love to see that. There is a lot of speculation about whether he's going to be around. We'll have to see today. Nako's saying, I see Bucks fans saying Adrian can be the guy later, but he needs to be the guy now. I think from the basketball of it, I'd rather Dennis. What are you talking about? Nako, you're saying, oh, Dennis over Kyle right now? Yeah, I would get behind that. I would get behind that. You know, I love my guy Schroeder, and I don't want to diss him just to get Kyle Lowry to come back here. But in some ways, you got to honor that growth too and get that culture back here. Dennis was really interesting on the Raptors show yesterday. He let it slip that the Raptors team right now is not a true team. Now, he said it in a way that was kind of not like mean or bad, but he was talking about his old time with Atlanta. Now, when he was on the Hawks, they had so many guys averaging almost double digits. It felt like a real team. And then he said, oh, not that the team I'm on right now isn't like a real team. Come on, Dennis, don't lie. These guys are all new and they're all thrown together all of a sudden and they don't really know each other. So they aren't like a real team right now. So it's not even if you say that and you let it slip, it's not like it's a big deal. You're working on it. You're going to try and get it. But yeah, very interesting interviews with Dennis, the way he's looking at things with the team. He's the ultimate professional. In some ways, Will Lou and Blake Murphy are doing better without being giggly, little snarky little schoolgirls in their interviews. I see them being a lot more serious and taking the situation with a lot more brevity and asking more respectful questions. In fact, Will Lou asked some really good questions in the Raptors show segment yesterday. In fact, I'm going to give you kudos, Will, for asking questions Raptors fans actually want to know the answers to. As far as like what's going on with the team and the makeup and how y'all feel about this, what y'all are doing right now. Good stuff, Will Lou. I'm actually going to give you kudos and not be mad at you because you asked questions I wanted you to ask, Dennis, and they were very good questions. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, watch that clip from the Raptors show yesterday. Dennis is always really good on it. Those other guys, they're hit and miss. Let's just say that. Cool Cat saying Doc, the consultant, manipulated his way to take AG's job. Giannis not win another chip. Yeah. Yeah, that's not good energy. It's not good energy. Race Mode saying everyone is saying that Kyle will get waived and go to a contender. I could see that. I could see that. I don't know what will happen. We'll have to see. Nako saying taking steroids just to be a 15th man. Just go play overseas at that point. It's not even, yeah, it's to be, I don't know. He's actually been in the rotation. He's like one of their, he's their backup center. You know, with Mobley out, they do need him, and he has been getting regular minutes. He's played really well this year. In fact, I was wondering why Tristan Thompson's played so well this year. Well, we know now. We know now. He looked old as hell last year, and he wasn't doing anything. He's barely in the league, and boom, all of a sudden this year, he's like really crazy, energetic, and all over the court and doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, we know now. We know now why. Supplemental help of this. Yeah, I mean, I get it. In some ways, like, look, the league is the league, man. And, you know, he wants to be in the league. You know, that's the whole important thing. Tristan, since you're going to have some time off, I'm going to say this right now, Tristan Thompson. Double down on helping Epilepsy Toronto, because I know that's a thing that you care a lot about with your family and your sibling. And in some ways, since your mom passed last year, the Epilepsy Toronto is in trouble, Tristan Thompson. So you need to double down on your funding and helping that charity out here in Toronto. I know from the inside that in some ways their funding has gone down, and in some ways the Tristan Thompson family, your mother in particular, was a huge help to that community and that society here in Toronto. And in some ways, I'm a plead to you, since you have some time, to help them. They're in a bad place financially, and your family has been very generous and nice to them. And I know that it's because of your dealings with epilepsy in your own family. So that's what I would say. Maybe you can't concentrate on basketball right now because you're suspended. Well, go and take care of those charities in Toronto and help out Epilepsy Association of Toronto, please. They need the funding right now. And anybody, if you feel like donating or helping out Epilepsy Association of Toronto, please do, because they need the funding, y'all. Funding is weird in this city, and Doug Ford and other people are fucking with people's funding, and it's messing things up. All right, let's see. Monique is saying those 905 Lunar New Year's jerseys are mad fire. Thank you for bringing this up. Monique is like #1 cue card holder, and I love it. I would have forgotten to talk about this if she had not wrote this in. Yes, once again, 905 had the best badass alternate jerseys in any kind of part of the NBA or G League. We got a new Year of the Dragon revealed a jersey yesterday, and it is fire. It's absolute fire. She's exactly right. It is just absolute fire, mad fire. They're so beautiful. They're so colorful. They look so clean with the lines. They're just beautiful. Go check them out. The new 905 Chinese New Year Dragon jerseys are absolutely awesome. I can't wait to see them wear them and play. They may be wearing them today for all I know. We could probably see them wearing them in about 30 minutes, Monique. So be ready for that. Yeah. Let's see. Fun Guy's saying he may have taken something else that's not steroids. No, he did take steroids. Grange reported the 2 substances he took, and they are very much illegal steroids that somebody is not allowed to take. They named the things he took. And Grange in his tweet said, honestly, if you think that Tristan Thompson is the only player in the league taking these steroids, well, I got a bridge to sell you. Those are his words. So I don't know. Either way, it was steroids, and it was confirmed, just so you know. Let's see. .com saying he actually took a peptide hormone. Yeah, I don't even know like the certain things. There were 2 different things he took that were illegal, and I could go get the names of them and tell you guys what they are. But in some ways, it's like, do we really know what that means? It could be that .com knows a little bit better. It's like, yeah, that's a peptide thing. I don't know. I'm just going by like this sounds like a steroid. And let's see, what did he say? I'll read Grange's post because he has it. Where is it? Where's Michael Grange? Golly, you're posting too much shit, Michael Grange. Come on, man. Just post a little bit of things here. There's the other thing I want to talk about. Marcin Gortat came out yesterday saying that he's mad at the Golden State Warriors because they lied to him. He was waived by the Clippers, and he got offered to come to the Raptors in our championship year. They called me 6 times, and I didn't go. I could have been an NBA champion today. Instead, I decided to go to Golden State, and they lied to me. They they said, no, we don't need a big. We're gonna take the small guy. You got to take an additional guard. And 2 or 3 weeks later, they signed Andrew Bogut from the Australian League. That hurt. Yeah, Gortat had offered to come and be Mark Gasol in our championship year, and that idiot passed it up, and he regrets it to this day. The lesson is Marcin Gortat is always become a Raptor if you get that chance. Okay, so the two things that he took are Ibut Morin and SARM LGD 4033. And I'm not exactly sure what those, but they're supplements that help you that are not legal in the NBA handbook, obviously. Evelyn's here. Good to see Granny Swag. Good morning, fam. I'm excited to see a lot of new names in our chat room. Just want to welcome all of your new subscribers and followers. Let's go Raps. We the North. Thank you, Granny Swag. We love you. And thank you for my Raptor Freak shirt. She's the one who made this and brought them to our meet and greet and said, hey, here's some Raptor Freak shirts. We love you, Evelyn. We love you so much. Fun guy saying, wow, that's whack. Tristan is on his way out of the league. He was on his way out of the league 5 years ago. Wayne saying, after watching Raptors' last press conference with Darko, we fans should chill. We're in preseason training camp in the middle of the season, full development mode. Masai, Darko, and Jama are okay with this. Yeah, we have to. It's like he said, we're in training camp right now. These guys are at OVO right now, running through the basic plays just like they would have in the fall before the season started. That is exactly where we are right now, Wayne, and we got to chill. That's right. Cowboy saying, who cares about the Bucks? Let's go Raptors. There you go, Cowboy. I like that. Let's give Cowboy a dunk for saying he doesn't care about the Bucks. Fuck him. Fuck the Bucks. We don't give a shit. Infamous is saying, salute freaks. We have to honor Griffin was. We have to be honest. Griffin was not a good coach. Griffin was not a good coach. However, that's not the reason he got fired. He got into fights with Portis in the locker room. That was the nail in the coffin. That's what .com's saying. But you know what? Listen, he would be protected if he was cool with Giannis. That's the whole thing. In some ways, it's the same thing with Scotty and Darko. It's like Darko, as long as you're cool with Scotty, you're probably cool on the team. I mean, you don't want to be fighting other people in other ways, but that's important. And in some ways, these guys are loyal to guys like Giannis is loyal to Coach Bud. And in some ways, the whole thing that happened with Nick, I'm sure Scotty was somewhat loyal to Nick, but in some ways, I can see he's more loyal to Darko at this point. I think that there's more of a connection with him and Darko than he ever had with Nick, even just in not even a year, half a year. So that's an important thing. Your franchise player's connection with the coach is super important. And if Giannis really liked Coach Griff better, he'd probably still have his job right now. Cowboys saying, good morning, Granny Swag. And good morning from Carlo JS. Let's see. Mo's saying, Kyle is a huge fan of Scotty Barnes. Saw that interview too, Lex. Yeah, he is. He really spoke glowingly of him. And he was very happy Toronto has a new face going forward. Infamous saying, Raptors fans need to let things go. Stop trying to make up with X's. No to Kyle. Let's move forward. Kyle more likely wants to be on a contending team in a warm climate. Yeah, that's probably true. And it is what it is. Although I'll bet you he'd love coming back here too. If one of the options was Toronto, I'll bet you he would favor it because it's a known quantity. It's something he really enjoys, and he does love here. I mean, he comes back here, and he's just like he runs Scotiabank Arena. He goes to the equipment manager's office and hangs out in there, and he's in the opposing team. He's just in there hanging around in Raptor spaces because he can, because he's Kyle Lowry. He can. Chris is saying one random thing. I really hope Barnes stops yelling so much on drives to the basket. Since Monica Seles, I have a bad trigger to this. It's annoying. Well, that's you personally, Chris. I love it. He like I said, he harkens to my old soccer days as the screamer. If you notice, Scotty's yelling at people when they take their shots. It's hilarious. He's not right up on them, but he'll yell at them, and try and make them miss. It's awesome. No, I can't get with you on this. I love him being vocally loud. And, we have all these guys being loud. Well, Siakam's gone now, but man, he was very loud when he played too. Fun guy saying, I'm so mad Nets couldn't hold on to that lead and beat the Knicks. Shaking my fucking head. Yeah, well, the Nets suck. And that's why in some ways we need to be above them in the Atlantic Division, but in some ways we don't. Some ways we really don't. Some ways we should be because we're a better team than them, but in some ways we don't need to be above them if we're doing certain things this year. Cool Cat saying Precious closed out the Knicks game at center and OG is forward. They did great. That's awesome. I love hearing that. You know how much I love Precious. You know how much I love him. Fun guy saying, we don't want him either. Laugh out loud to Russell for Bruce. What? Oh, is that somebody took a message away and something like that? Russell? Yeah, we don't want D'Angelo Russell. Fuck that guy. Duke saying 2-minute report is a joke. After the Lakers Raptors game, it said Raptors should have had an additional 2 fouls, which makes sense. The Darko basically said you'll be fixing games. Yeah. The 2-minute report is so fixed. Why the fuck did y'all come out with one that said you made 10 mistakes? Like, that's weird. Y'all should be fudging your police reports, just like the real police do, to back up whatever bullshit you're trying to do. You came out with one that said you were incorrect 10 times. You're going to get heat for that one. Yikes. Carlos saying, yeah, no Russell. We need forwards and bigs. That's right. Nah, I ain't got no time for high shooting percentage, horrible shooting percentage, high volume D'Angelo Russell. Fuck that shit. Fiercely saying Harden's first games with the Clippers were horrific, but they figured it out, making Russ backup point guard, hoping that 3-day training camp will help Darko and his team reevaluate schemes and positions. Yeah, we need this reset. Our guys are really smart. They're eager to learn. They want to be successful. So I don't know. We may see a very different kind of thing on Friday against the Clippers, and hopefully it'll be very good. We'll have to see. Jimmy's saying being fired after 30-12 start is crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. Cool Cat saying Imani Bates got into trouble again. Yeah, he went into the crowd in a recent G League game and went after a fan to attack them. Him and one of the other Cleveland Charge players, and they got fined and suspended. Yeah, he went into the crowd. Fun guy saying, I hate the Celtics. Yuck. Yeah, I'm with you. Ditto from Cowboy. Fiercely saying, what, Lex? Ant is the face of the league? Bleh. No, that's what they're saying. That Anthony Edwards is the face of the league. It's not Scotty. That's what the pundits were trying to say down south. When Darko said that Scotty is the face of the league, they're saying, no, Anthony Edwards is what they were saying. Every team but the Raptors. Rip it in half? No, I ate it up. Here it is. Kevin's laughing about it. Woof, woof. That's right. We got the dog. Chris is saying, Lex, my guy, you eat the thing, dude. I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to put it down in my belly. No, that's stupid. I'll get hurt myself that way. Fiercely saying, good, Lex, now burn the damn card. It might be too wet at this point. This is a little chewed up, little Patrick Beverly basketball card. Nobody wants it. I might flush it down the toilet. I might get a plumber's call then. So I'm not going to do that. MK's laughing about it. I love to see you, MK, in here. MK's just in here laughing, and that's it. Kareem saying, Lex, what the fuck are you doing? This is not a good, healthy decision. I'll order you some wings, bro. Well, I didn't swallow it. I made it look like I might swallow it. It was a little bit of like a cliffhanger there. Y'all were kind of watching. Is he going to swallow it? Did it look like I was swallowing it? Oh. Yeah, no, I wasn't going to swallow it. You guys are laughing. Oh, that was a good moment. All right, good. I like to see the reaction in the chat to me eating a Patrick Beverly basketball card today. That's hilarious. Chris is saying, Kareem Thomas, I'm a singing, a dancing to a geekala. What? Okay. Let's see. I'll buy the pitcher. Okay. I will buy Lex the salad. Okay. You guys are getting me a salad and some wings and a pitcher. Okay. Fiercely saying, shoot, you may have messed up, Lex, since Pat Bev was passed around the league. Imagine some crazy fan was looking for that one card you had. You may have lost millions. Seriously, Fiercely. Seriously, Fiercey. Sorry, I got you mixed up. Fiercey, you know what? You're getting a dunk for comedy because that statement is funny. That doesn't make any sense to me. Seriously. Okay, now you're tied with Kareem. You know what? Listen. You think this is going to be worth any money? No. The Patrick Beverly card is never worth any money. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just not that way. Cowboys saying it's probably worth more now that Lex chewed on it. That might be true, actually. That might be true. Fiercey saying, I'll buy Alexa Siakam swirl. I think they're still being sold actually until the end of the month. Also, Pascal posted a story about people asking for it. Yeah, I love that. No, I think it is still being sold. So y'all continue to get Siakam swirls. Show McDonald's the buying power of the Siakam name. So just do it. Carlos saying just bought OG and Siakam jerseys on sale. Bought my kid one too. Look at that. Carlo JS honoring these guys, getting the 43 and the 3 after these guys are gone on sale. That's smart shopping. Smart shopping. Fiercey saying alley-oop to Canadian Cowboy. All right, we can do that. This guy gives so many people alley-oops. He needs one sometimes. He needs some sometimes too. Let's see. Thanks, darling. Good job, Carlo JS. And he's got clap, thumbs up, yeah, high 5 or high 10. Infamous is saying, I can't listen to Angry Hoops fan. It seems personal with him. He's a piece of shit. I inscribed immediately. You can be official without the extra BS. No, I think he's kind of comedic to me. I get it. He is really, really personal with LeBron. And it is funny. Like, he absolutely hates LeBron. And if you're somebody who likes LeBron in any kind of way, well, he's not going to be somebody you enjoy. I'm going to tell you that right now. See, I don't like LeBron. I've never liked him. So I eat up his content like crazy. And even if he's like viciously unfair, or if he's really going at it, yeah, I like it because I'm with him. I'm with him. I lived through LeBronto. I heard all this bullshit. I've seen how LeBron has carried himself. In some ways, I'll honor him after he's retired, but in some ways, he is a villain to me. And I love what Angry Old Hoopshead is doing, even if it's unfair and it's personal for sure. Yeah, it's all good, Infamous. We have different tastes. That's just how it is, I guess. Wayne saying Kyle should be brought back for the next 1.5 years. As a vet, he's more useful than Garrett. Our next cohort of players will need to been here, done that, veteran around. Can't see a downside here. I mean, I don't think there's a downside either. He's not the kind of player that's going to come in and rock the boat and make things worse. He's the kind of player that'll make things better for sure. And there is so much about him that gets unlocked again just because of him being here, as far as like camaraderie and knowing things, and just like there's a lot of stuff that Kyle like can reintroduce himself to again. Not the same level of play, but just, as far as people around the city and different things and interacting with the franchise. So I like this idea. If Kyle was on our team for the rest of this year and next year, I would be not unhappy. Now, I don't think that he's more useful than Garrett. I think Garrett's useful in a way that's very unique for most teams. Having this one of the head players association reps and a lawyer on your team is really smart. So in some ways, I don't really compare them. And I don't know if you need to get rid of Garrett to have Kyle around. I mean, that is a lot more old guys all of a sudden. That's for sure. Fun guy saying, I was more shocked they hired Griffin to begin with. I never saw him as a head coach, though he's a great guy, and all the Bucks with Giannis after firing a championship coach. Yeah, in some ways, I get what you're saying. In some ways, it's his personality. In some ways, it's, I don't know. I feel bad because I know Griff had ideas about who he should be and what he should be, but this is just the damn truth. As much as Eric Curry is not a G League head coach or a head coach in any kind of way, well, maybe Adrian is not a head coach either. As much as Nate Bjorngren was not supposed to be a head coach either. Sometimes you hit your ceiling in your profession as far as like you should only be an assistant coach in the NBA. You should not be the head coach. And this may be true with Adrian, unfortunately. This may be very well true. Carlos saying hiring Doc is just a lazy hire, though. I really appreciate the way the Raptors look for their coach. Yeah, it is kind of lazy. They're saying there's some veteran coaches available. They're going to go look at the small pool. I was like, yeah, we know that pool is real small. If anybody knows the coaching pool that's out there right now, it's Raptors Nation. We really went and discovered and explored who's out there that's available for coaching in the NBA atmosphere and environment at this point. Yeah, we know if there's any like old coaches. Yeah, Doc Rivers is about the best you're going to get. Yeah, because we know. We went through a very exhaustive process last summer. We know who's out there. And yeah, that may be about the best you can get. They have no choice. It's the mid-season. That's right. I doubt Coach Bud would want to come back after that. Well, who knows? Maybe not. Maybe not. You're right. Maybe not. Infamous saying sometimes a role player acts as an intermediate between the star player and the coach. We have to be honest. Griff was a horrible coach. Let's not let our personal feelings cloud the truth. Steve Nash was bad too. In some ways, I don't know if these guys are actually bad coaches. Let's talk about this just being relative in a certain way. Being an NBA coach is absolutely the hardest level and place to be a coach. And some may say Euro leagues and FIBA, that's probably hard too. But here, in some ways, it's like so much scrutiny and there's so many pitfalls, as evidenced by what happened to Adrian yesterday. Now, I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he's an amazing coach. I think if he coached college, if he coached high school, if he coached as an assistant coach, he'd be fine. But he may not be a head coach, and that's all I'm saying. Same thing with Nash. Listen, you can think that I'm letting my personal feelings with this. No, I'm trying to be astute and fair with this. In fact, I listened to Adrian Griffin speak at the coach's open house last season when I went to it personally. And in some ways, I was very impressed with him, but in some ways, I wasn't. And I can get where he may not be a very good NBA head coach. And I'm not letting my personal feelings cloud this. I'm just saying you gave that man the job. You made a commitment to him. You really didn't give him an honest chance, is what I'm saying. Is what I'm saying here. Yeah. Carlos saying Griff only had half a season, though. MA's first half of his season was a dumpster fire, too. This firing was too soon, way too soon, and no rhyme or reason to it. No, you can't say that he's fired because wasn't successful, because he was successful. It's crazy. If he's going to get fired for being 30-13, well, what the fuck about Monty Williams? Come on now. People are going to be like looking at the Bucks and be like, yeah, they fired their coach. They're 30-13. Why haven't we fired Darko yet? See, that's messed up. That's crazy. It should not be like that in this NBA. Nobody will build anything worthwhile if they go like that. And then meanwhile, Spoelstra is getting this crazy extension. He's been there for almost 20 years. Same with Popovich. Apparently, the Miami Heat worked out the extension with Spoelstra after he finalized his divorce. And they're trying to say, oh, now that woman won't get any of that money in the new contract. Well, Kareem Thomas was on Twitter letting everybody know, well, actually, it's about the income afterwards. She can still get his money because that's not how the rules work. All right, let's see. Trevor's saying Milwaukee Bucks franchise on the books to pay 3 coaches. Really? So they're paying 3 guys, Budenholzer, Griffin, and whoever the new guy is. Yeah, well, they want to spend money on coaches like that. They're going to spend money on coaches like that. Stargate saying, laugh out loud. Wait till they get a load of Doc's system. The players in the Bucks are not conducive to his system. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It'll be a comedy of errors. Fiercely saying, serious question. Is Doc Rivers going to unlock Donis' potential? Could he be the answer? Fiercely, you are trying, aren't you? All right, you can go ahead. That's pretty good. I like this. It's a pretty good joke. All right, Kareem, you got some competition now. She just went ahead of you with 19 because that's hilarious. Yeah, some people were making the joke. It's like, yeah, Adrian Griffin can't be on the Bucks, but Donis, man, he survived. Cowboy saying alley-oop to Fiercey. Yeah, I gave it to her already. Yeah, Stargate's laughing about it too. Carlos saying Doc is going to have the Bucks ahead 3-1 in the finals, only to lose. That's going to be so epic. Yeah, Doc will do his pattern script. All right, I'm under 10 minutes, so I'm going to try and finish. Yes, and yes. Carlos saying this year's Eastern Conference is so interesting. We'll see who comes out. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting with the changes to New York and Indiana and the other things going on. Stargate saying, well, Bester will come in near the end of the stream and with a report on the Knicks ball boy and equipment managers. That could very well be Stargate. That could very well be. Let's see. Cowboy saying, we got the best coach, period. Darko, I believe that. You know what? For that, I'm going to give you a dunk because I feel like people should be saying that more, that Darko is one of the best coaches. And they will over time. Watch. Let's see. Carlos laughing at Stargate. Alley-oop, I'm dead. You want Stargate to get an alley-oop for that? Yeah, that was pretty good. We'll give Stargate an alley-oop for that one. Where's Stargate? It's alphabetical, bro. You can find it. It's there. All right, there. Boom. Okay, next. Let's see. Where am I? Oh, I got to finish up really quick here. Country Kong's here. Good to see JP. Good morning, Raptors Freaks. Lex, the Hornets aren't planning to play Lowry out of respect for him. I appreciate the sentiment, but I think they're just doing a T word. Any chance we bring the Groat home? We were talking about that just now. The scenario I see is, well, we got to trade Dennis or somebody like that. Dennis for him, then boom. Because in some ways, Dennis is in the spot that Kyle would need to get if he came here. And it's not going to be starting. Emmanuel's a starter. And that would have to be how it would work. It's like if the Hornets want Dennis Schroeder and maybe another player, and maybe it'll work. I don't know how much Kyle's getting paid this year. Is he getting a veteran minimum? Is he getting some sort of crazy amount that he shouldn't be getting? That's another part of it too. Good morning, Country Kong. Mug Brothers in effect over in the dog park. That's right. Good morning to the Cowboy. How do I watch the 905 game? On YouTube. And we'll have a link for you, Cowboy. You know what you do? Just go on Google search and put in 905. Go to their official site, and they'll have the link on their schedule. So just go to the Raptors 905, and you will find it, and you will be able to watch it on YouTube for free, my man. That's right. And I'll be in the chat in there, so you guys can talk to me during the game also. If you get on YouTube through the chat, Respect the Fun Guy, 905 channel or G League channel. That's right. Everyone slam dunk the like button. Thank you. Fiercely saying Siakam was the loudest. Geez. Chris Boucher as well. High pitched scream. I never heard Chris. Maybe my ears aren't dialed into the pitch of his high pitched scream. Chris is saying Country Kong 50-50. I would say on Lowry coming back in a meaningful way. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it's in the cards. Sports and fitness rants goes in hard on LeBron as well. Yeah. And 905 game is on TSN? I don't think so. YouTube. That's the best place to look. All right. I'm under 6 minutes. Let's go ahead and finish things up. Lots of stuff happening around the league. The Blazers are protesting the finish last night. Doc Rivers is probably going to be the new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks after Adrian Griffin got fired. The NBA has suspended Tristan Thompson for 25 games for using an illegal substance. Kyle Lowry got traded to the Charlotte Hornets yesterday. Scotty Barnes is in the U.S. select pool for the Olympics. John Conley, Teresa Stuck, Sarah Williams are our referees for the Grand Rapids Gold versus the Raptors 905. About to start in about 5 minutes, y'all. So we're going to switch out of here and get you there. There's some really smart looking, beautiful 905 jerseys. You check them out. The Year of the Dragon jerseys. Fantastic design. Whoever the person who's making these, Lindsay, whoever you are, you're amazing. And keep doing what you're doing. We're proud of you. Very, very awesome. All right. If you have a Raptors freak, Yahoo fantasy team, please keep up with your team. I hope you enjoyed me opening the packs today. I got a James Harden card and a Norman Powell Christmas card. So awesome. WILDCARD Wednesday is a W officially, y'all. I love it. 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 All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow for the brand new Thursday Think Tank, the call-in show Think Tank. So tomorrow I'll have the phone number for the call-in show posted in the membership community tab, so people can see the phone number and members can call only, not just regular subscribers. So if you want to be able to call into the call-in show, you have to become a member of this channel. So tomorrow we will have phone calls on the show with y'all's voices live, talking and opining about the subject for tomorrow. I'll figure out what it is specifically. We'll figure out a hot topic about what's going on around Raptors Nation, and we'll talk about it on the new Thursday Think Tank call-in show format. That's right. Going forward, Thursday Think Tanks are going to be call-in shows, and we're going to try it out for the first time tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get some really good phone calls from you guys, and we'll be able to hear your voices, and you can talk exactly about what you want to say without even having to be in the chat. We'll go back and forth and talk a little bit, so be ready for that tomorrow, guys. Beautiful jerseys. Yes, Cowboy, they're beautiful. Let's go, Raptors. Have a great day later, Lex. Let's go. All right, game starts in 5 minutes. I'll see y'all in the chat in the Raptors 905 YouTube channel, game against the Grand Rapids Gold. Let's go, Javon Freeman Liberty. Let's go, Kevin O'Banner. Let's go, Justice Winslow. Let's kick some butt and get the win today against the Grand Rapids Gold. All right, I appreciate y'all. Let's go, Scotty Barnes. Isaac Campbell. Yes, let's go, Scotty Barnes. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go, Raptors 905. I love you. I love you. Let's go, Raptors. Whoa. Ah.